Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ad America. I am Andrea Oriel, your e-guide for today, and I hope everyone has had their breakfast today because we are going to work your brain out in our second session of Ace Your English Test and get accepted to US universities. But before we jump into today's session, I have a little bite-sized question for you to warm up your brain with. So originally, the TOEFL test was not made by ETS. It was developed by a university. And the question is, which university originally developed the TOEFL test? Is it A, Stanford University, B, Harvard University, C, University of Maryland, or D, University of Arizona? If you think you know the answer, submit your answer to our social media platform. And if you are able to answer correctly, you will be receiving a shout out later from us in the end of the event. And now, without further ado, let me introduce you to our facilitator for today, Ms. Hafilia Ismanto.
Oh, okay. Hello. Hi, good morning, everyone. For those of you who are here in our studio and those of you who are at home at the comfort of your home, okay, in Zoom. So I do hope that those of you who are not here but joining us online, okay, will also be able to participate. Yeah. So as Andrea has said, today is the second session of the four session. All right. And those of you who, of course, joined our first session would remember that the first session we focus on the speaking skills. Now, remember that the TOEFL IBT, okay, has the four skills that are measured: the reading, the listening, the speaking, and the writing. I started always with the productive skills, which are the speaking and writing, because those two are the skills that are fairly new to all of us. All right. Okay. So let's take a look. By the way, this is the logo for the TOEFL now. Yeah, this is the new logo that was created by ETS, Educational Testing Service, the makers, creators of the TOEFL IBT, okay, in 2019. So this is the updated logo. Again, why did I mention there are now the two productive skills? Because it measures the TOEFL, of course, measures the ability, okay, our ability to be able to function, to be able to do tasks when we enter universities abroad, right? In which the language of instructions, of course, will be in English. What do we do when we enter colleges abroad? This is something that we also do when we are in college here in our own country, right? So, of course, we need to be able to understand textbooks, college reading textbooks, journals, papers, and we are expected to also be able to understand our lecturers, the professors who are giving us lectures, talks, presentations, and last but not least, of course, the two productive skills, which are, of course, the speaking and the writing. Now, there is something special about these two skills. Yeah. So, what I would like to remind, and everything about the TOEFL IBT, please consult the website. This is the official website for the TOEFL. So, you go to the ETS website, right? You have ets.org up there, okay? And just Google ets.org, and you have all these kinds of, this is the landing page. So that's ETS. If you see on the far left top hand corner, okay, and you have the different products, okay, the different assessments that are made by ETS, including the GRE. Some of you who are pursuing higher education for your master degree, okay, some universities will require your GRE score as well. GRE assessment is also made by ETS. So if you would like to know more about the GRE, it's here on the same website, okay? So what you do if you already know that, okay, I'm going to take the GRE or I'm going to take the TOEFL, you can, of course, click TOEFL, yeah, but afterwards, then of course you go straight to test takers, all right? And when you go to test takers, okay, you will get test format, practice test, and all that. I hope that uh, you already access the site. Yeah. Okay. So what we did last week, I'm just going to go over it a little bit for maybe some of you who missed it. All right. What we did last week was focus on the speaking. Okay. Why do I like to focus on the two productive skills first? Again, this is fairly new to us, and it's exciting because it has what it's called the independent as well as the integrated tasks. Okay? So, two types of tasks in the speaking as well as in the writing, right? Both has independent and integrated. And if you see the number of minutes that you're going to experience when you do the speaking test, we have there the allotted time of 17 minutes, right? Uh, but does it mean that you talk for 17 minutes? You speak for 17 minutes? Okay. No. And the writing task, now this is, yes, you need to write. They will give you time, 50 minutes to write two pieces. Yeah. Two pieces of writing. One is the independent writing task, and the other one is the integrated writing tasks. Okay? Both or each section of the test, as you can see, out of the score scale, 120. So 120 now is the highest perfect score, we call it, for the TOEFL IBT. And how did the number 120 come about? Because each of the sections, okay, the score is 30. Yeah, the highest score is 30. So when you have 4 sections, that means 30 times 4, which makes it 120. Simple as that. Okay, so I'm just going to, okay, hold on a minute. Iya, timer belum jalan. Uh, okay, can you help me out with that so I can, dari 90 menit kan? That's 25 minutes. Okay. All right. Dari 150 menit ya. Yeah. Okay. So, right? So, for the first few minutes, uh, we're going to again review on the speaking skills, and I'm going to take you to what ETS has published for all of us, those who want to study, practice more. I hope you realize that in the website there is an interactive version, meaning they did give a sample of what you will exactly experience when you are at a test center, right? I'll take you there for the speaking as well as the writing. Okay, so we were talking about 4 questions, 4 tasks for the speaking. One, only number 1 is independent, and the rest of the tasks, 2, 3, 4, are independent. Okay? And just to remind you again, that question, why do we call it integrated? Why do we call it integrated? In question number 2, you're going to read a passage. That means your reading skill. Okay? So based on your reading skill, you have information, you get information. Then you're going to listen to a conversation for speaking task 2, you listen to a conversation between 2 people discussing about the same topic. And the format is always this way. They will not change, rotate, okay? The sequencing. The sequencing will always be like this up till now, okay? So, question 2 it's an integrated skill, meaning that, and what's the topic about? The topic is campus related. Remember that when you are abroad, you're not going to only listen to your professors, sit in the classroom. You are going to, of course, socialize, right? You're going to socialize with your friends. You're going to have peers. You're going to meet people from other countries. You're going to be classmates. If you're not classmates, maybe you're going to be roommates. All right? Now, and then you will be discussing things that are, of course, related to the university, to policies, to assignments, what have you. That's what we call campus related. So it is not the academic lecture that you're going to read or that you're going to listen to. Okay? Now, question number 3 or task 3 refers to, of course, again, this is integrated because it starts with a reading passage. This time, it's about an academic subject. Okay? And then you're going to listen. This time, you're going to listen to a lecture about, of course, the same academic subject. And you're going to be asked questions about what you read and what you listened to. Okay? Question number 4. It's just 2 skills, listening and then speaking, right? Here we have 3 skills: reading, listening, speaking. Okay? Now, and here we only have 1 skill: speaking. That's why we have independent and we have integrated. Okay. Now, do you still remember, those of you who joined our first session, do you still remember the difference? You know, you have different numbers here, and it's in red and in dark, okay, in dark color. You still remember? Yes? Those of you here in the studio, you still remember about this? What's the one in, how long do you speak? 15, okay, these are all seconds, yeah? So how long do you speak? 15 seconds or 45 seconds for task number 1? Which one? The 45. 45 seconds to speak. Okay. 60 seconds to speak for task number 2. Another 60 seconds to speak for task number 3, and another 60 seconds to speak for task number 4. So how many minutes do you speak altogether? Is it 5 minutes? Not even 5 minutes, yeah? So calm down, relax. Okay? Calm down. You're not going to speak 17 minutes. All right? You're going to only speak for less than 4 minutes. Yeah? Okay? So calm down, calm down. Okay? Be confident. Come on. I've been here, I think I've been talking already for about 20 minutes now. Without you realizing, you've been listening to me for about 10 to 15 minutes. You got that? Now you're only going to do 1/3 of that. Yeah. Okay. Now, and how about this one then? If this is your speaking time, so how about the 15, 30, 30, 20? What's that? Preparation time. So you are going to be given, of course, time to prepare. Yeah. Okay. Now, remember, we were talking about preparation time, 15, 30, 30, 20. What do you do during the preparation time? Don't panic. Calm down. Look at your notes. Remember that note taking is allowed. So when you listen, right, or when you read, you can take notes. It's not you can. You must take notes. All right? Okay. Remember that note taking is allowed. And remember, so you're the 15, the 40, the 15, the 30, the 20 seconds preparation time is, of course, taking a look at your notes and organizing how you're going to say, what you're going to say. Okay? Right. Now, when you practice before the test, what do I say? Okay, what's important for me to say? Don't forget we have a holistic score. Meaning, okay, meaning we take a look at three different things: your delivery, your language use, and your topic development. Again, download this from the website. I'll show you where it is. All right. This is what we call rubrics, magic word. Yeah. Okay. The raters, the ones human, as we said here, who's going to listen to our responses? Human. So it's recorded. Your 3 minutes, 45-second responses will be recorded and it will be sent. Okay? It'll be sent to the raters. Now, the raters are human, but of course, we also have the help of the artificial intelligence since I think years ago, yeah, more than 10 years ago. Remember when you type on your Word document, you have a spelling checker, you have a grammar checker, right? So basically, that's what it is. Now, with speaking, of course, the robots have already been mm, fed information, okay, with pronunciation, intonation, stuff like that. Yeah. So the human raters are assisted by the AI in terms of mechanistic things. Itu loh. Because the human raters will take a look at this. Okay? Remember, you will be assessed. Remember, as you are preparing, you have to remember these three. Nah, what is it? This is where the rubrics come in. Understand the rubric. Please understand the rubric. Read the rubric because the raters will be using the same thing. Raters do not have a cheat sheet. Tuh ya. Contekannya rater apa? Ya ini sama. It's the same like what we have, what you have. Okay. Now, here we go. If you look at the descriptors or if you look at the what do we call that? Rubrics. It's going to be divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, which describe. It comes from the word descriptor. Descriptor comes from the word describe. Okay? It describes what will be assessed. This is a general description of the scoring. 4 is the highest score. Remember? Okay? And 0 is the lowest score. I do not like to show you 2, 1, 0. Forget that. Don't read that because that's not where we want. Yeah. So concentrate on the 4 and the 3 and 4. All right. Okay. Now, the first, of course, column will tell you about the overall description of delivery, language use, and topic development. Read it. Look at number 4. Score of 4. The response fulfills the demand of the task. Meaning, if they ask your opinion, you give an opinion. Whose opinion? Your opinion. If they ask, summarize what the people are talking about, then you give a summary. you don't need to give an opinion because task, read the task carefully. Okay? Okay. So this is what we mean by response. Your response fulfills the demands of the task with at most minor lapses in completeness. Meaning ini kekurangan minor. Ya. What does it mean? It's not perfect. 4 itu bukan berarti you are perfect in everything. Tentu ada lapses. Ada kekurangannya. Incompleteness. Maksudnya ada kekurangannya dalam kelengkapan dari ini semua. Okay? Now, it is highly intelligible. What's intelligible itu? What word do you associate intelligible with? Do you have have you ever heard another word similar? What word do you think? Anyone? Intelligible. Can you guess? Ada kata-kata apa yang mirip, that's similar to intelligible that you know? Come on. Understandable? Okay. Understandable datang dari because you have the word intelligible ini dari intelligent. Ya kan? You have the word intelligent. You got to start doing that very fast ya now. Nanti di reading itu there are so many words that we do not know. But one of the things that we can do is associate the words, the new words, with the words that we already know. Okay? Now, intelligible kali maksudnya understandable because you have the word intelligent. Berarti intelligent itu ya pandai, mengerti, and all that. Ya, is highly intelligible and exhibits sustained coherent discourse. Sustain. Kita lagi banyak bicara nih, sustainable development, right? The world is talking about sustainable development. What is sustain? When you want to sustain something, what does it mean? You want to keep it and you want to continue with it, right? Okay, good. Sustained, that means when you speak, it's sustained. Yeah, it's not like blah, 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 blah. Stop. And then blah, blah, blah. Okay. Sustain means the pacing ya. Sustainable. Itu di keep up terus. Oke. Okay. Coherent nih jangan lupa. Coherent. Coherence, cohesion, kohesi. Whole. Okay. Related from one to another. A response at this level for maksudnya is characterized by all of the following. Followingnya bukan ke sini. Ke sini. Okay. It's not going down. You don't read what's under, but then you read it what comes on the right side. Characterized by all of the following. Characterized by what? Number 1, delivery. Generally well-paced flow. Fluid expression. Remember water. Remember liquid. Okay? Fluid expression. Speech is clear. Your articulation is clear. All right? Namun, it may include minor lapses. Ada kekurangan, tapi minor. Alright? Or, maksudnya kekurangannya apa? Minor difficulties with pronunciation or intonation. Itu bukan dimaafkan ya. It's understandable gitu loh. Why? Ini namanya juga TOEFL. Test of English as a Foreign Language. It's not made for Americans. It's not made for Australians whose native language is English. It's made for people like us. All right? So it is fine that we sometimes have minor difficulties with pronunciation or intonation patterns, okay? Which do not affect, again, tetapi tidak mempengaruhi, berdampak kepada intelligibility of what you are saying. Kita masih bisa ngerti kok, walaupun, hah, gitu kan. Alright? Oke. So, language use. Jadi gini ya, dengan adanya intelligibility, is accent okay or not okay? My students come from different parts of Indonesia. They are speaking Javanese, Indonesian, English. You get the idea? Ya, nanti ada lagi loh yang dari yang orang Bandung, orang Cianjur itu they are speaking Sundanese, Indonesian, English. Ini udah English dulu. Tapi kan terpengaruh juga kita dengan our bahasa Indonesia, right? Somehow our bahasa Indonesia will be affected sometimes with our local, iya. Itu wajar, kamu pergi deh ke seluruh Indonesia. You will see, even the bahasa Indonesia is different. The way we pronounce words, the way intonation, sometimes some vocabulary is different. Gitu loh, ya. I went to Padang. Siapa yang dari Padang di sini? Nggak ada ya? I went to Padang last week. Nah, ternyata ada bedanya oke. Ternyata tidak semua di Padang itu mengatakan udah ya. Ada satu lagi kan? What is it? Nah, ya orang Padang kalau bukan udah apa? Artinya sama. You don't know. Oke. Okay. Alright, that's okay. Saya juga baru tahu. Saya juga bukan orang Padang sih. Have you heard kalau sate Padang ada yang katanya sate Padang Ajo tuh ada ya? Ada nggak? Ajo. Nah, betul. Tuh kan. Jadi ya, that's right. So you have like ada Ajo, nih ada sate Padang Ajo gitu kan. So I ask sate Padang Ajo nih apa? And then they explain, Bu, Ajo is actually like uda. Okay, but it's not. Yes and no gitu kan. Because it is said by the different ethnics gitu aja. Get it? Nah, kita itu dipengaruhi dengan itu ya. Right? Jadi we have our Padangese Indonesia. Bahasa Indonesia kita dipengaruhi juga oleh our local language, right? Nah, terus kita disuruh bahasa Inggris, ya jadi rame deh. Alright? Okay. Now, that's why yang penting do not affect overall intelligibility. In terms of what? Jadi delivery itu clear nggak di sini? What are we talking about? Fluid, pronunciation, intonation, right? What about language use? Keywords? What are the keywords for language use? Grammar? Vocab. Yang membedakan 4 dan 3, what is the difference between 4 and 3? You are a 4, okay, when your grammar, your vocabulary that you use. Ini di writing juga begini sama ya, in speaking and writing is the same. When the vocabulary and the grammar that you use exhibits a fairly high degree of automaticity. Ini karena speaking, dia automaticity. You do not think. Right? Kan langsung tuh ngomong, how are you? You will say, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay. You don't say, I okay, I fine, I good kan? Itu I'm-nya itu automatic. Sampai begitu otomatiknya you are not fine, you will still say fine. Sama kan? Apa kabar? Baik, padahal nggak baik. Nggak baik. Kita sedang tidak baik-baik saja loh. Itu automaticity ya. Oke. Jadi this is what we mean. A fairly high degree of automaticity with good control, basic and complex structures. Structures itu penyusunan kalimat. Alright? Okay? Fairly good control. nyusun kalimatnya nggak mondar-mandir gitu loh. You don't say home I go to yesterday atau I go yesterday home. Alright. Nah, this is what we mean. Itu masih basic. It's still a basic sentence, but sudah ada kekurangan. Nah, berarti kalau sampai begitu ya nggak mungkin ada di sini. You go down, 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 down. Ya, right? The person who gets a 4 means you have a high degree of automaticity with good control of basic and complex structures as appropriate. Some minor, again, it's not perfect, or systematic errors are noticeable but do not again obscure meaning. You can still understand the message. Tuh, ini language use. Ya, ini topic development. Runut nggak? Coherence nggak? Response is sustained. This is the word sustain again. And sufficient to the task. Okay? It is generally well developed. When you're asked an opinion, task number 1 in speaking is an opinion. Do you agree or disagree with that always telling the truth is the most important consideration in any relationship? Agree or disagree? Misalnya begitu ya. If you say, oh yes, I think honesty is number 1 because 1, 2, 3, itu ada what we call coherence. I disagree. Sometimes we have to tell white lies. Misalnya, why do we tell white lies? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you give your reasoning. Structure. Kenapa? Because this is academic English. With academic English, terstruktur dengan rapi. Okay? The way that we say things, the way that we write. All right. So please study this, download this, right? If you're serious about TOEFL, do download this. You will get it you have this in the ETS website. Udah ya? Oke, yang nol itu nggak ngomong. Kalau nggak ngomong bahasa Padang. Right? Yang 0 means you don't say anything, you breathe into the microphone. Remember? Okay, dah. For the whole berapa? 45 seconds and 60 seconds. Alright? Okay. Ya. Nah, yuk. Seperti apa sih? Now I'm going to take you. You should already. I'm sure that some of you, have already taken a look at this. Tadi kan masuk ke ETS website, right? And then from the ETS website tadi masuk ke TOEFL. From the TOEFL, kan you test taker dulu ya. And then you go to the TOEFL, cari aja tes I want to practice gitu, klik. Nanti akan keluar dengan bermacam-macam, berbayar dan tidak. Ya udah pastilah ya, everybody will look at free. Oke? Ya. So go ahead. Explore. Nah, ini di sini bedanya, can you see the difference? Ini juga free loh. This one is also free. The TOEFL IBT practice sets yang the second one itu is also free. Tapi bedanya apa? This is all PDF. Can you see that? The practice sets. PDF. Walaupun di dalamnya untuk listening ada juga the MP3-nya. But it is all downloadable. Ini kok tiba-tiba muncul ya? Launch gitu. Can you see that? Right? Okay. So, what does it mean? Tadi dulu. Okay. What does this mean? We will see. But I'm just reminding you again, pada saat kalian mendownload, itu nanti disambung, di downloadable di PDF-nya ada tuh. www bla bla bla. Apa itu? Speaking Rubric. Jadi tinggal klik. Udah follow aja kemana Anda diarahkan. All right? That's where you get your rubrics. Yeah? Okay. Now, so let's go to the yeah. If you launch, right? Nanti keluar satu-satu as it is sequence in the real test. It starts with reading, listening, and then speaking, and then writing. Now, I have already pinned the tab for speaking. Okay? So what you need to do is just ya udah ikutin aja kan. Continue.
Listening section directions. The listening section of the TOEFL IBT test measures your ability to understand conversations and lectures in English. In an actual test, the listening section is divided into 2 or 3 separately timed parts. In each part, you will listen to 1 conversation and 1 or 2 lectures. You will hear each conversation and lecture only 1 time. After each conversation or lecture, you will answer some questions about it. Answer the questions based on what is stated or implied by the speakers. In an actual test, a clock that is provided shows you how much time remains. The clock does not count down while you are listening. The clock counts down only while you are answering questions. For this practice test, a useful guideline is to spend no more than 35 seconds to answer a question. You may take notes while you listen. You may use your notes to help you answer the questions. Your notes will not be scored. In some questions, you will see this icon. This means that you will hear but not see part of the question. Some of the questions have special directions. These directions will appear in a gray box on the screen. Most questions are worth 1 point. If a question is worth more than 1 point, it will have special directions that indicate how many points you can receive. You must answer each question. After you answer, select Next. Then select OK to confirm your answer and go on to the next question. After you select OK, you cannot return to the previous questions. You can select Review at any time, and the review screen will show you which questions you have answered correctly or incorrectly and which you have not answered. From this review screen, you can go directly to any question you have already seen in the listening section. Select Continue to go on.
So that's the automatically they will read the directions for you. Okay? So just follow and continue.
Listen to a conversation between a student and a professor.
Hi, Professor Mason. Do you have a minute?
Yes, of course, Eric. I think there was something I wanted to talk to you about, too.
Probably my late essay.
Ah, that must have been it. I thought maybe I'd lost it.
No, I'm sorry. Actually, it was my computer that lost it, the first draft of it. And, well, anyway, I finally...
Listen to part of a lecture in a biology class. Listen to a conversation between a student and a registrar. Listen to part of a lecture in an animal behavior class. Listen to part of a lecture in an anthropology.
Okay? When you go in, that's what happens. You cannot go straight to the speaking, right? We want to hear the speaking, but you have to go through the reading because it's done. It is posted in sequence. So you go to so you have to, like it or not, you have to go through the reading and then the speaking. But if you want to go straight, that's what you do. Skip, 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 skip. Did you see what I'm doing? You just skip, 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 skip. And then, of course, it will take you. Now, this is the speaking part. All right? Okay? Now, so you have directions there for the listening. That was for the listening, ya. Nah, kita coba sekarang ke now For example, for the speaking, you have of course yang tadi semua itu dibicarakan, itu ada juga bentuk PDF-nya. Alright, so it can be interactive. They also put it down. Click the PDF. Alright, now let me see. Where is the speaking part?
Speaking section directions. In the speaking section of the TOEFL IBT test, you will be able to demonstrate
Iya,
your
karena
ability
udah
to speak
tahu
in English
modelnya
about a
seperti
variety
ini.
of topics by answering 4 questions. In
Automatically,
the
when the
test,
section
the first
moves
question
on,
is about a
click,
familiar topic.
you're going to hear
Your
the
response is
directions.
scored on
Gitu,
your
jadi nggak usah.
ability to speak clearly and coherently about the topic.
They're just
In the
reading
next 2
the
questions,
directions for
your
you.
responses
Okay,
are based
so
on what you have
listen
read and heard.
and
First,
kalau
you will
untuk
read a short text,
practice,
either about
itu
a
bisa di-skip.
campus-related change or an
So you just
academic
skip.
topic. The text will go away, and then you will listen.
State whether you agree or disagree with the following statement. Then explain your reasons, using specific details in your explanation.
This is task number 1.
Learning through online courses is more effective than learning in the traditional classroom setting.
If this were an actual test question, you would have 15 seconds to prepare your response and 45 seconds to record your response. This is a high-level response.
Learning through online courses more effective than learning the traditional classroom setting because of 3 reasons. The first is that you can take the courses wherever you are once you have the computer and internet. And the second is that the discussion on the classes could be more easily for some students who are very shy to
Listen and
discuss
read
with
this.
friends, classmates, and the professor face to face. They can talk whatever they like if they face a computer. What's more, it could be much easier for the students to hand in their assignment. They could just send the email to the professor, and the professor can give the commentators of assignments in the email. So I believe learning through.
Why did she stop? Why did she stop? Because she didn't have anything else? Because she realized that it was wrong? Or what? Why did she stop? Did she stop? Did she finish? Or did she stop abruptly, suddenly? Did you hear her finish already? Or was she still explaining something and then suddenly you hear stop, right? It was a sudden stop. Because it was already, how many seconds for the first task? 45 seconds. That means cut off. The system will cut you off right away. All right? And langsung, okay, dia pasti nanti masuk ke next, which is the next question. Yeah? I wanted you to read this. Did you when you heard that, okay, when you heard that, kita mestinya lihat kemana? Where should we look? This, right? The assessor, the rater, is listening, just like us, is listening while looking at rubric. And the assessor, the rater, will then, okay, fit what they hear, what if the assessor is a woman, what she hears with the response. You get the idea? Ya kan? Nah, coba kita lihat satu-satu dulu ya. We look at the delivery. The first thing that's noticed when you're speaking is the delivery, right? Which is what? Delivery is what again? Expression. What is that? Intonation, pronunciation, speech pace, the pacing. Okay. Pacing dulu deh. Fluid or not fluid? When you hear the example tadi, fluid atau tidak? Lancar nggak? Yes or no? Tinggal yes or no aja. Nggak bisa or. Yes or no? Lancar. Oke. Lancar ya. Lancar. Oke. Did you understand? Did you understand everything from the very beginning to the last? Yes or no? You are the rater nih. Ya. Sekarang bayangin kamu jadi rater gitu loh. Lancar sih. Lancar kan? Fluid nggak? Fluid. Alright. Oke. Ya. Did you understand what she said? Tanpa ini loh. Would you understand 100% all the words, all the sentences, all the phrases that she said without script, without the transcript? Yes or no? No. Enggak ya? Susah ya? Hah? Gitu kan ya? I see you blank gitu, begitu. Lancar sih, tapi sambil gini. Ngomong apa ya? What made us difficult? What made us difficult to understand? Kita sebagai listener ada extra effort nih dari diri kita. Hah? Gitu kan? Ada extra effort, tunggu. You're trying to connect, right? Words that she said with words that, apa sih? You get it? Oke. Nah, itu berarti ada di lancarnya lancar. Paham kan ya? Tapi what is the problem for us? Kita jadi ekstra gitu loh dengerinnya. What's the problem? Because of what? Dari sini dulu. Yes? Ada dua kan kalau di sini ya. Pronunciation, intonation gitu terus kan. Oke. What is the problem? Why did we have to listen with an extra effort? Because pronunciation. Apa yang membuat pronunciation-nya itu seperti itu? That's my question. Kira-kira apa? Ini orang Indonesia bukan? Orang Amerika bukan? Ya udah pasti bukan. Orang mana? Gak tahu, orang Padang jangan-jangan. Oke. Ya, look, alright. But that's what we call itu accent ya. You see the accent get in the way. Gitu loh. Bukannya nggak ngerti dan bukannya dia ngomongnya berantakan, enggak loh. Dia sebenarnya ngomongnya benar dan topik developmentnya juga oke. You get the idea, right? But ini yang dengerin kayak lagi second time, gitu kan ya? Lagi third time. You understand? Apakah berarti itu udah ditulis tadi high level response? But is it a 4? Pertanyaan saya. Mungkin nggak 4? High level sih, but is it a 4? What do you think? No. Yang jadi hambatan kita memahami apa tadi? Delivery ya. Oke. Right. So, ini kan minor. Yang di sini minor. Difficulties with pronunciation or pacing are noticeable and may require listener effort. Lihat nggak? Effort means dari yang pendengar nih perlu usaha untuk memahami. You get it? Nah, urusannya effortnya ada di mana? Di 3. Atau di 2. Speech is basically intelligible, though listener effort, ini balik lagi nih ada effort lagi kan? listener effort is needed because of unclear articulation. Articulation is the way you pronounce words. Ya, okay. Articulation, awkward intonation. Awkward itu yang ada agak aneh gitu intonasinya, or choppy. You know when you chop onions, chop, that means it's not fluid because you chop. And okay, I think, I think okay lah. Choppy. Ya. So, was she choppy? Choppy nggak? Atau tadi lancar katanya kan? Berarti dia nggak di sini loh. Berarti dia ada di mana? Right? Bisa aja ini dapat 3, ya. Bisa saja ini dapat 3. Dilihat lagi di sininya. You get it? It is possible, and it doesn't say that when the rater is not required to, when you give a 3, then you have to give a 3. Semuanya. No, the rater will then listen to holistic. This is what we mean by holistic. Yang dilihat holistic. Oke, kalau delivery lancar. Walaupun, gitu kan, ada listener effort. And I think the effort is because of the accent. Ya, but raters itu has special headphone and so on. Mereka bisa menghilangkan noise, because at a test center sometimes, bukan sometimes, it is noisy. When you speak, your friend, the other test takers will also speak. Rame deh. Makanya you use a headset to turn off the noises around you. Tapi pasti kalian nggak mungkin nggak dengar apa-apa. You will hear other people speaking. Okay? So that's another strategy yang harus kalian biasakan. Biasakan ngapain? Ya biasakan ngomong sendiri, responding to a TOEFL question di cafe yang lagi rame. Use this. Ngomong deh sendiri. Do not get distracted. Alright? Okay. Now, jadi ini bisa dapat 3 dia ya. Nah, tapi apakah ininya juga 3? You got it? Bisa saja ininya mungkin language use-nya 4. Mungkin topic development-nya 4. Can she get a 4? That's my question. Kan 3, 4, 4. Alright? 3, 4, 4. Can she get a 4? Yes or no? Coba dibaca lagi yang benar. The answer is you should find the answer here. The last sentence of the general description. Can you see that? Can you find the answer? My question is, if the person gets 4, 3, the person gets 3, 4, 4, right? 3, 4, 4. Do you think what is the final score? Is the final score 3 plus 4 plus 4 dibagi 3 gitu? Gitu enggak? Lihat di sini. Enggak kan? Is it possible that she gets a 3? Possible or not? Atau malah karena 4-nya ada 2 jadi dia dapat 4 gitu loh. Yes or no? Yang mana nih? 3 atau 4 ya? 4. Ada 4, ada 3. Oke, yuk. Jangan ditebak, ada ininya loh. Nih. A response at this level, maksudnya at this level tuh dapat 4 ya. Terdiri dari 4 di sini, 4 di sini, 4 di sini gitu kan. All. You get it? So if you want a 4, that means you have to have 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. Begitu ada yang tidak 4, automatically dia akan turun kemana? 3. Oke? Jadi bukan majority, minor, bukan begitu soalnya. Nah, kuncinya ada di sini. A response at this level, all. Di sini a response at this level is characterized by at least 2. Berarti kalau dia di sini sudah 3 tadi, mungkin dia ada lagi salah satunya yang 3, ya kan? Berarti she gets a 3. Nggak ada 3,5, nggak ada 4 ditambah 3 dibagi 2. Yuk, ya, got it? Nah, what happens if somebody gets a 3 here, terus yang lainnya bukannya naik ke atas malah turun. Tadi kan dia harus dapat 2 ya. Ada 2 komponen, right? That's a 3. Now what about 2? A response at this level is characterized by at least 2. You get it? Jadi berarti kalau yang 2 lainnya ada di 2, what's the score? 2. Okay? Got it? Ya udah. This is how you understand the rubric ya. So this is untuk apa saya ngoceh banyak sekali masalah ini, because how do you get a 4? Look at the rubrics. How do you get a 3? Look at the rubrics. Right? Okay? Okay. Now, ini tadi dibilang high level. Ya se-high-high-nya nggak mungkin 4 tapi ya. Okay. So this is a high level response. Overall, kenapa? Karena kan yang dilihat holistic. Overall, this speaker provides a full response. Walaupun kita effort, but tasknya dia penuhi loh. Betul, oke, dan full. She states her opinion and provides 3 different well-developed reasons. Tadi dia percaya, dia tadi agree sama mana sih? Online atau, remember the prompt? Online or face to face, something like that ya. Tadi dia percaya dengan online kan, agree about online learning. And then she talk about 3 reasons why she agreed. Di sini. Well developed. Ini kalau udah well developed kita bicara apa? Delivery, language use, or topic development? Topic development. Jadi kita melihatnya holistic. Bukan gara-gara we were frowning automatically itu wah nih skornya rendah. No, because we have to look at a person from top, bottom, sideways. Right? Okay. So, yeah, although this is a high level response, it is not perfect. The major weakness is the imprecise vocabulary and minor grammatical errors. Ternyata tadi ada minor grammatical errors, okay? She makes several minor errors of word choice, word form, verb tense, prepositions, etc. However, these errors seldom obscure meaning. Berarti kita masih tetap mengerti. Contohnya, she said they can talk whatever they like if they face a computer. But she should have said they can say whatever they like if they are facing a computer. Jadi itu ada minor grammatical error. Oke? Ya. Ini catatannya siapa? Who do you think wrote this? The raters. Because the raters have to say this is a 3, this is a 2, this is a 1 based on. This is what we call annotation. They have to be responsible. Why they put a 3, why they put a 2, why they put a 1. Sampai ada example-examplenya. Karena dia bisa mengulang lagi. Dia bisa dengerin lagi. Dia bisa dengerin lagi. You get it? Oke ya. Dah. Got it? Ya. Jadi if you go to, okay, if you go to the website, you can get this kind of information, sample, right? So do it, do access the website. All right. So I think nextnya sih, okay, ini yang
Read the
integrated.
article from a university
one more.
newspaper. You will have 50 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now.
Kalian boleh apa? Lagi reading boleh apa? Iya. Ya udah tenang aja, nanti dia men-time diri sendiri ya. Pokoknya ntar hilang aja gitu sendiri dalam sekian detik.
Now listen to a conversation between two students.
Hey, Sue, did you see this article?
Yeah, I did. I don't think that's a very good idea.
Really? You don't think it's a safety hazard, like they said?
No, at least not during the day. I'm pretty sure both of those accidents happened at night when it's harder to see cyclists. They didn't say that in the article.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Sure it does. Maybe at night, with low visibility, there's a safety hazard. But I don't think there's any danger in the daytime, which is when most people need to move around and get to classes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Besides, it's such a big campus. If they do this, it's going to be really hard to get around.
Well, we can always take the bus, I guess.
But the buses only run once an hour.
That's true. They're not very convenient.
No, not at all. If people have to take the bus, we'll end up sitting around waiting for the next one all the time, and we're all too busy to waste our time doing that.
The woman expresses her opinion of the proposed policy change. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
Did she,
If this were an actual test
did she agree
question,
with the policy,
you would have
the new
30
policy or not?
seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to record your response.
You have 30 seconds.
This is a mid-level
prepare.
response.
Well, the newspaper noticed that the students cannot use bicycles because it is considered as a safe risk. But the girl, does not agree with it. She thinks that first, the bus caused accident mainly because when it's night, people cannot see each other clearly, and during daytime, a bicycle is very safe. And the second, she thinks that the campus is quite big, and not using bicycles causes very inconvenient to get to classes. And finally, although the campus provide bus, but it's not where it's well.
Why did he stop? Time's up. Yeah? Okay. Now, in terms of listening, yeah, in terms of delivery, which was easier, more comfortable for you to understand? Just in terms of the speech, in terms of intonation, pronunciation, which was more comfortable for you to listen to? The first one, the girl, or this one? In terms of the words that he used, okay, in pronunciation, did you understand what he said? Not really? You don't understand the words that he mentioned? Do you understand the words that he expressed? You did, right? Okay. That was because this was more, it was not too influenced by the native, not the native English, yeah, but the native speakers, meaning his language. his native language. You got that? His mother tongue. Yes, it's influence, but it did not really create a problem for us. The first one did. Okay? So in terms of delivery, he could have gotten a 4 or a 3 as well. Right? Okay. But it's mid itu berarti 3-2 gitu ya. Mid. The speaker seems to have understood some of the key points from the reading and the conversation. However, many important details are missing. Masalahnya dia sekarang it's not in the delivery. Not as much as masalah di details. Berarti ini topic development. Right? Details are missing or incorrectly expressed in his response. Si rater selalu harus kasih justifikasi, gitu kan? For example, he incorrectly says that the bus caused accident, but the reading suggested the accidents on sideways occurred when bicycles ran into pedestrians. Jadi ada salah interpretasi, right? You get it? Nah ini nggak ada hubungannya dengan language use, itu kan, tidak ada hubungannya dengan language use tapi dengan pemahaman. You get it? Sehingga topik developmentnya jadi bermasalah karena he gave an argument yang tidak valid. Si wanita tidak setuju karena ada banyak accident gitu kan, ketabrak bis. Padahal in the reading says, no, it's not because they were hit by a bus, but they hit the pedestrians gitu kan. Oke. Ya, the speech is mostly, saya terusin. Numerous vocabulary and grammar errors, numerous loh, bukan minor, ini numerous, lebih banyak. Sometimes make it difficult to understand the speaker's intended message. Masalahnya ada di language use. Jadi dia mungkin sama fasihnya dengan yang pertama. Mungkin ini better because pronunciation and all that was clear to us. Dia tidak terlalu dipengaruhi oleh his mother tongue. Gitu ya, apapun bahasa ibunya. Itu enggak pengaruh banyak. Yang pertama tadi kelihatan banget dipengaruhi oleh itu. Got it? Nah, tapi karena ini holistic, kita melihatnya secara whole. Ternyata dia missingnya di sini nih. In the vocabulary and in his grammar. Alright? So, as it is explained here, numerous vocabulary and grammar errors yang akhirnya kita rada-rada bingung maksudnya apa. Okay? For example, bla 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 bla, the speech is mostly clear. Clear kan? Tadi makanya saya tanya, kalian bisa paham nggak? Paham, clear and easy to understand. Ya, jadi dia nggak ada masalah di mana delivery, you get it? But because the speaker repeats nah itu berarti ada masalah di kelancaran, not as fluid as the first one. Yang the first one tadi ngoceh terus loh, get it? Okay, so throughout the response, and has many false starts. Bicycles causes, very causes. False starts itu di mana you said something, mikir lagi, then you correct yourself. Jadi you already say something, no, that's not what I mean. I mean ngulangin untuk koreksi diri, ya. Itu yang kita sebut false start. Kenapa false? Ya karena terus ngulang lagi, oke. Jadi misalnya dia bilang bicycles causes, very inconvenience. You get the idea? Okay. The response is choppy. terputus-putus and difficult to follow at times. Kadang-kadang kita susah ngikutinnya, ya. Oke. So this is holistic, oleh karena itu dia tidak dapat, ini mid, berarti it's not the same as the first one. Because when we look at it holistically. Okay? Sip? Yeah. All right. Now, I will move on. All right. I have to move on to your writing. Yeah. I will move on to your writing, and I'm going to go to my slide, back to my slide. We have again integrated and independent, right? In the speaking, it starts with the independent and then ends and then followed by integrated, integrated, integrated. In the writing, it's the other way around. It starts with the integrated writing. Okay? Remember, this will be the backbone. All right? Okay. Your note-taking skills is very important when you talk about writing. All right. Now, you will see a 230 or 300 word reading passage. You're going to be given, you're going to be given 3 minutes to read the passage, and then you're going to hear a 2-minute lecture about the same topic. The lecture, the connection, the relation between the lecture and the reading sometimes contradicts each other, the information. This is what we say, the lecture says something about the topic from a different perspective. That means it contradicts each other. Or it's also possible that the lecture gives more information, more support, okay, to what's already given in the reading. Additional information. Notice the two. Okay. Test taker will then see the reading passage again. So after you hear the lecture, you're going to see the reading passage again and you will see a prompt. You will be given 20 minutes to respond, to write, and it is expected that you will be able to produce a writing of 150 to 225 words. Okay. So I'm going to give you now, we're going to practice, okay, give you an example. What do you need to do every time you practice for your writing skill? Get this in front of you. This is your independent, it should be then not the independent because it's integrated, yeah? But I'm just showing you there is an independent and there is an integrated. So get your rubric next to you, visual, okay? And take notes. That's what you do. As you practice, that's what you do as you study and develop your skill. Are you ready now? Your notes? Are you ready with your notes? I'm going to give you a reading passage for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 menit habis ini. Okay? You ready with your notes? If you don't have a piece of paper, you have your handphone, right? Okay. Go ahead. Tapi agak-agak susah ya di handphone. Nanti deh, saya bilang. Jadi coba go back again to the old historic way of writing. Okay. So, ya, udah belum? Udah siap belum? Tunggu dulu. Stop dulu. Balikin lagi ke 3, nanti waktu saya bilang start. Oke. Oke, geng? 3 minutes. Okay? That's around 3 minutes, right? And after this,
No memoir can possibly be correct in every detail, but still, the Chevalier's memoir is pretty accurate overall, and is, by and large, a reliable historical source. Let's look at the accuracy of the 3 episodes mentioned in the reading. First, the loan from the merchant. Well, that doesn't mean that the Chevalier was poor. Let me explain. We know that in Switzerland, the Chevalier spent huge amounts of money on parties and gambling. And he had wealth, but it was the kind of property you have to sell first to get money. So it usually took a few days to convert his assets into actual money. So when he ran out of cash, he had to borrow some while he was waiting for his money to arrive. But that's not being poor. Second, the conversations with Voltaire. The Chevalier states in his memoir that each night, immediately after conversing with Voltaire, he wrote down everything he could remember about that particular night's conversation. Evidently, the Chevalier kept his notes of these conversations for many years and referred to them when writing the memoir. Witnesses who lived with the Chevalier in his later life confirm that he regularly consulted notes and journals when composing the memoir. Third, the Chevalier's escape from the prison in Venice. Other prisoners in that prison had even more powerful friends than he did, and none of them were ever able to bribe their way to freedom, so bribery hardly seems likely in his case. The best evidence, though, comes from some old Venetian government documents. They indicate that soon after the Chevalier escaped from the prison, the ceiling of his old prison room had to be repaired. Why would they need to repair a ceiling unless he had escaped exactly as he said he did?
Okay. Okay. Now, take a look at your notes. All right. Take a look at your notes. This is what you need to do. Summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to explain how they summarize the points made in the reading, not summarize, how they actually contradict, yeah, the points challenged, the points made in the reading passage. So, lecture, summarize, and then how they, of course, then how the listening passage undermines the points made in the lecture. Okay. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Can you tell me? In the reading? What's this about? Yep. About the Chevalier's memoir. Memoir. Okay. What's the idea? What is the message? What is the main? What is the thesis? Okay, of this of the reading. His memoir. Okay, the inaccuracy of his memoir. That means the reading, okay, states that the memoir may not be accurate. Right? Where does it state that? In the first, in the second, in the third? Usually you state like the main idea, yeah, is in the first paragraph, right? Okay, which sentence? However, some critics have raised doubts about the accuracy of the memoir. Look at the next sentence. They, that means the critics, claim that the Chevalier distorted or invented many events in the memoir to make his life seem more exciting and glamorous than it really was. All right? Okay. So that's the whole idea. It is not accurate. Itu ya. And then what's paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4? What are they talking about? Paragraph 2? What is this? So this is like, okay, this is the main idea of the whole reading, right? And paragraph 2 we're talking about inaccuracy, right? Paragraph 2 is talking about what inaccuracy? What inaccuracy? The what? His so what's being questioned here? What's being confronted here? He said he's wealthy, but he borrowed money from the Swiss merchants. Okay? So that's like the argument why why his memoir is not accurate, right? Okay. So number one is about, if you give me one word, number one is about what? Wealth. Number two, third paragraph. The, the conversations, it's in the first sentence, yeah? Conversations with Voltaire. Apanya dari conversation with Voltaire? So it's about the conversation with Voltaire, the accuracy of the conversation. Why? Why did they doubt that this is accurate, the conversation that he had with Voltaire? Why doubt that? Because it happened long time ago, and maybe he had already forgotten what's being said, right? Okay. Yeah. Number 3, inaccurate in what aspect? First, wealth. Second, the conversations with Voltaire. Number 3, inaccuracy about the escape. Did he escape? Did he escape? Yes or no? Did 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 Chevalier escape prison? Yes or no? He did. Now the question is how he escaped, yeah? Right. Okay. So it says here that critics have also questioned the memoir's account on the Chevalier's escape. He claims to have escaped the Venetian prison by using a piece of metal to make a hole in the ceiling. So that means he escaped by himself, right? Mm-mm. Critics claim that while such a daring escape makes an enjoyable reading, it is more likely that the Chevalier's jailers bribed to free him, were bribed to free him. You know what bribe means? Bribery means? Disuap untuk to free him. Okay. Jadi ada counter. They counter all this, right? Okay. Nah, sekarang what did the lecturer say? Did the lecturer support the inaccuracies, or did the lecturer challenge the inaccuracies? Justru, what did the lecture? What does the lecture say? Contradicts or support the reading? Contradicts, right? That means in the lecture there is a contradiction here in terms of wealth. There is a contradiction here in terms of the accurateness of the conversations, and there should be also something here about the escape, how it escaped. Did you get it down on your notes? Look at your notes. Look at your notes now. Okay. Look at your notes, and what does your notes say? Can you tell me? What does your note say about number 1? Because if the reading says that he is wealthy, the lecture contradicts. That means the lecture will say that he's not wealthy. Itu kan? Atau something else. What do you think? You said that the lecture contradicts. Berarti he's not wealthy, no? Or is he wealthy? He's wealthy. So what did it contradict? What does it contradict then, the lecture? Okay. Hello? Hello? It's like you're looking at each other. Apa ya? Okay. Notes, right? I'm just giving you an idea. How your notes are very important. Reading, tenang aja sama reading. Karena the reading will flashback. Right? You will see the reading again. Tapi you will not hear the lecture anymore. So that means it is very important. Your focus on note taking should be during the lecture. right? Because you can see the reading. Nah, be practical. Okay. Does anyone remember what do you have on your notes? Ini pertanyaannya, he claims that while living in Switzerland, he was wealthy. Gitu kan? And it is known that he did spend a great deal of money there on parties and gambling. This support the idea that he is wealthy, right? However, evidence has recently surfaced that the Chevalier borrowed considerable sums of money from a Swiss merchant yang menunjukkan that he is not wealthy. You got that? Ini ya klaimnya. Si lecturer klaim apa? Wealthy or not wealthy? Dia benar-benar wealthy gitu kan? Oke. Under what basis? Argumennya apa in the lecture? Okay, he is wealthy, but he has a lot of properties. When he needs money, what does he need? Propertinya banyak loh, tanahnya banyak. Tapi when he needs money fast, what happens? He has to sell, right? And does that, can you sell something tonight and then get cash tomorrow? Ya kalau di Tokopedia mungkin ya, but not land. If you're selling food, yes, but not land. You see the argument there in the lecture? Yeah, okay. Number 2, how did the lecture contradict? Because the reading said it's impossible for his memoirs about the conversations with Voltaire to be accurate because it happened already a long time ago. How can he remember? What did the lecture say? Is it possible that it's accurate? Because he wrote like a diary. You know that? He wrote the conversation every time he met Voltaire. All right. Number 3, how did he escape? How did he escape? Di sini katanya nggak mungkin he escape by himself, right? Pasti there was some kind of bribery involved. Now, according to the lecture, is it possible that he escaped by himself? Is there evidence? The what? The ceiling was damaged. You got it? Dah. Tuh. Right. Nah, you can do this if you want. Yeah. But this is one way of note taking. Jadi si reading, blah, 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 blah. Si listening, blah, 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 blah. Okay? But, all right, a more practical way would be from the start as you listen, okay, as you read and as you listen, you already make an outline for your writing. Your notes become your outline of your writing. So you don't have to work twice. Okay? How do you do that? If it is a contradictory, then you make a T note. This is what we call T note, yeah? You see the T? If it contradicts, that means listening versus reading. Why did I put listening first? Padahal yang you read is the reading passage first, right? Kayaknya kan enakan readingnya that you put down on the left. Kenapa? Sengaja nih saya tuker. Why? Because kalian berpikirnya harus begini loh. Sorry. Mana sih tadi pertanyaannya? Summarize points made in the lecture. Berarti komandannya siapa nih? Si lecture. Dan bagaimana apa yang dikatakan lecture itu mengkontradik the reading. Okay? You got it? That's why my suggestion for you would be, ya udah, begitu baca, you are ready with your notes. T. Yang reading ditaruh di kanan, ya. And then when you listen, you put it on the left. Alright? Okay. Bila mana ketika it doesn't contradict and it supports each other, you will need this kind of note-taking template where you make reading yang ngomong apa kan disupport kan ya. So that means you have to write this in what did the lecture say about this reading. Atau mau dibalik juga bisa. Listening yang ngomong apa, it depends on the prompt nanti. Okay. But do you see the difference on the template? Okay. What do we do after this? So, ini kan listeningnya bilang wealth kan, masalah wealth nih. The loan, kan si reading bilang he is not wealthy, not rich gitu ya. Why not? Because he took loans from Swiss merchant. Notes-nya kalian hanya bisa segini kayaknya. You will not be able to write sentences, right? But then at least write the key words and phrases. And when you listen, what happened with the loan? Oh, he is rich because he had property, but he could not get money right away because it took some time. So that's why he had to borrow first from the Swiss merchant. Okay? Okay. So you put it here. Yeah? And goes on with the conversation. You said, right? You said that it could be accurate because he wrote them down, the conversation with Voltaire, every night. He took notes. There is a diary. Okay. Here on the escape, it's possible that he did escape on his own because there was a damage in the ceiling and they had to prepare it. And aside from that, other prisoners had more power. That means more influence, more money, but they couldn't escape. So it means, apa logikanya? The jailers gitu ya, could not be bribed. Alright? Tuh, ini semua argumen. Diapain ini? You have to write. How many paragraphs will you write? Minimal berapa paragraph? If you see this. How many paragraphs? Minimum. How many? 5? Okay. Tapi yang udah pasti akan ada berapa? 3. Right? Each paragraph contains, one contains what? The wealth. Second contains about the conversation with Voltaire. And the third one contains about escape. Think of your paragraphing an essay, a composition as a hamburger. Yeah? When we said 3, what are we thinking of? Are we thinking about the bun? You know, when you eat McDonald's, when you eat, apa lagi ya sekarang? Si Burger King kayaknya udah nggak ada. Apa masih ada ya dia? Maybe it's still there. Okay. Carl's Jr. Go upstairs to the food court and you'll see all types of hamburgers, right? You have the top bun, you have the bottom bun, and if we make an analogy, this is your piece of writing. Ito lo. So, remember that the bun, okay, they put like things intact. They put the tomato, if you like tomatoes, you like vegetables. They put it depends on what burger you're talking about. Is it meat? Is it chicken? Is it whatever? You have a fish burger also, right? Okay. And then you have maybe your lettuce. That's vegetable, lettuce and tomato. You have your onions or you have your sauce. Okay. Now, so this is, let's say, this will make your vegetable. The second will be your sauce, maybe, or maybe you have a cheese there. And then the third will be the meat. It could be chicken, it could be beef, okay? It could even be fish, right? Okay. So, think of your essay something like this, right? Yeah. And usually it starts with a paragraph. A paragraph, it starts with each of these paragraphs. A paragraph is like a juicy hamburger. It needs two things to hold it together, which is the top and the bottom bun. All right. And what is it in writing? Topic and conclusion sentence. That means you need here an introduction and you need here a closing. Okay. So you need an introduction to talk about what does the reading and the listening talk about and how they relate with each other. Contradict or saling mendukung, support. Itu intinya in the introduction. Okay? Then you uraikan per komponen. Tadi kan ada 3 ya. So you have the wealth, you have the conversation, and you have the escape. Restate what you have stated here on your introduction as your conclusion. Dia tutup lagi. Sama-sama ban kan? Artinya ingredients-nya sama. Roti, tepung. Meaning the content of this, your introductory paragraph, is the same as the content actually of your closing paragraph. Hanya pandai-pandailah merephrase, paraphrasing. Okay? Ya, okay. Now, before we go, I'm going to show you something. Jadi gini ya, kurang lebihnya. Keep it simple. Alright? Kurang lebihnya kayak gini nih. Now, and intro, conclusion. In writing, the highest score is not a 4, but it's a 5. This is a benchmark of a 5. And I would like you to look at this. Coba dibaca yang tenang dulu. This is a benchmark of a 5. Benchmark means apa namanya? The standard of a 5. Okay. Okay. So, how many paragraphs? Actually, this is like a paragraph, right? But it is not. Itu loh, ini cuman kayak introductory statement bahkan. Bahkan bukan paragraph. Ya, ya. Nah, if you look at this, the raters that's not automatically, memang di bayangannya si rater ada 5 itu kayak paragraph. But the rater does not automatically, oh this is not a 5. Wait. Because we're looking at things holistically kan. Holistically. Dilihat dari depan, dah kok kehilangan kepalanya. Ya. Tapi kita lihat dulu deh, apa sih isinya? So, okay. First of all, apa sih yang dinilai? We need to look at the what. How do you know what is being, how do you know whether it is, what is being assessed in the writing? Jangan lupa ya, ada independent writing score, ada integrated juga ya. Okay, so this is the independent, tapi nanti ada juga integrated. Now, so you check on that. I am going to focus on a few things. Mari kita lihat dari sisi vocabulary and grammar. Take a look at the vocab first. Apa dia? Okay. The first part, okay? The first point of the lecture disputes the reading passages argument, blah, 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 blah. The second point of the lecture argues. The third point of the lecture refers to when blah, blah, blah. It is said, and then I think, okay, it is said that the chef, while, however, the lecture disagree. Dia mulainya dari mana? Dari lecture atau dari reading? That's my question. Lecture. Sesuai dengan promnya. Berarti udah dapat skor. Oke. Ya, fulfills the task. Alright. Look at the vocabulary. All these sentences are the same, right? It's the same, right? Sama kan maksudnya? Bermainnya di mana? Disagree. Second, tadi disagree. What about this one? What word did she use? Did she use disagree juga? Argues. Another one here. What's the word? Not disagree, not argue. What's this one? Dispute. Just by putting is in those 3 different words, it gives the raters ideas, ya. Menunjukkan. She is displaying. Okay? She is proving that she has a good range of vocabulary. She's not just saying agree all the time or disagree all the time. All right? She is able to vary This is what we call a variety of vocab. Okay? Ya. Nah, mari kita lihat apa kata rater aja. This response, ya, at this level successfully selects the important information from the lecture and coherently and accurately presents this information in relation to the relevant information presented in the reading. This response is well organized. 3 tadi. Okay. And occasional language errors are present. Kalau kalian lihat English language errors tadi kayak poverty due to apa gitu dia bilang. Nah, kemudian tapi do not result in accurate or imprecise presentation. This is the annotation. Go ahead, read it. Go ahead, take a screenshot. I hope you have taken a screenshot from yang ini ya, yang penting. Okay, take a screenshot. Look at the and look at what the rater says here. All right. Okay. Now that is the academic reading integrated. Sorry, this is the integrated writing task. That's how it looks. Usually, it is more common that it contradicts rather than it supports. But then be prepared right away to make a T or to make an outline. Okay. We're going to continue with the independent one, which is the same thing, and the reading part. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask? I'm opening questions. Those of you who are joining us in Zoom might also want to ask, then you can please ask your question in the chat box. And I think somebody from Education USA, if we have Caroline or May who's monitoring, can of course help in forwarding your questions to me. I should be able to read it here though. Can I? Can I read the chat box di sini? Kalau ada yang bisa dong mestinya ya. Okay. Any questions? Any comments that you'd like to make about the writing? Anything? Hello? No questions? No comments? Anyone? No? Chat box, no? No comments, no writing? No. Ada. Di chat box nggak ada. Di situ kan? I can see it. I don't think there is any question. Any question from people in Zoom who wants to ask questions in the chat box? Ada nggak yang mau bertanya? No? No. Okay. So, right, since we have about, May, you want to, do you need to close or make a closing? No? Okay, so I can just continue for another 10 minutes? 5 minutes? All right. Okay. Now, yeah, again,
Now read the passage from a psychology text.
Writing section directions. The writing section of the TOEFL IBT test.
This
Writing
is
based
your-
on reading and listening directions. For this task, you will read a passage about an academic topic.
this is the Chevalier. This is how it's going to be shown. Yeah, I gave you the context already. So, but how is it going to be shown when you take it in the test center for the writing part? So this is what you see here. Okay, they're going to give you time to read, right? And there will be, of course, a counter here. Ya, oke. Nanti setelah 3 menit, gitu kan, nanti muncul automatically. Nah ini saya nggak bisa skip-skip, karena kalau di sini kalau I skip, itu berarti saya hilang, right? So like it or not, you need to wait, gitu loh. I cannot show you what happens next. Tapi automatically nanti after 2 minutes, ya, after 2 minutes itu langsung. What are you going to hear? The lecture. Ya. Nah, notice ini belum ada apa-apanya ya. Still empty, right? Okay. After the lecture, then gitu loh. After the lecture, then you will get the prompt. Okay. We need to wait. Saya nggak bisa cepetin, nggak bisa keluar kalau begini. Jadi it's just going to take another 1.5 minutes and then we can close. Gitu. Pas 4 menit. Alright. And you can write your notes. Remember when you were reading this, remember kan udah bikin siap-siap mau bikin T, tapi yang penting tulis dulu. Ya. Tinggal nanti dikembangkannya kiri kanan or going to the bottom. Alright. Nah, ini habis 50 detik lagi. This is what you're going to and I guarantee when it's this part, it's going to be very silent test center. Everybody is going to read. So you don't need to, you will not hear any noises. Okay, in 5 seconds, it'll automatically change.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
No memoir can possibly be correct in every detail,
Yeah.
but still, the Chevalier's memoir is pretty accurate overall and is, by and large, a
Okay.
reliable historical
Yeah, yeah.
source.
Ah.
Let's look at the accuracy of the 3 episodes
I
mentioned in the
skip,
reading.
Independent writing task
it
directions.
goes out of
For this
the
task, you will write an essay in response
section
to a
and goes to the
question
next
that
one.
asks you to
That's what you
state,
need to do.
explain, and support your opinion
Okay.
on an issue.
So
If this
next
were an
week,
actual TOEFL IBT test, you would have 30 minutes to plan,
next week we will
write,
be
and
talking
revise
about,
your
I will
essay.
start with the independent
Typically, an
writing test
effective
just a
essay
bit.
will contain a minimum of
Tapi
300 words.
contohnya
Your essay
independent
will be
writing test
judged
itu
on the
seperti
quality
ini.
of your writing. This includes the development of
Can you read that? So that's the task. And that's the writing. Yeah. You can write on the right side. How many minutes, remember, for independent? 30. Langsung aja dia countdown. Okay? Okay. So, Andrea, I'll give it to you. Okay, thank you very much for joining today's session. All right, guys. Hopefully, I will see you next week and we will continue with the independent one and go to reading. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Andrea,
Thank you
go
so
ahead.
much, Bu Hafil, for today's session. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. I hope you learned something new. And earlier in this event, I asked a little trivia question, which was, which university originally developed the TOEFL test? And the answer is A, Stanford University. Congratulations to Ardan Sol from Instagram for answering the question correctly. And if you have not, I would like to ask you guys to follow us on our social media platform. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at AT America. And please subscribe to our newsletter and Facebook page as well for more updates for our events. And with that, I think we have reached the end of our event. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. Again, with me, Andrea Oriel, and see you at the next At America event.